Motivation gets all the credit, but discipline does all the work. Welcome back to the Brewed for Life podcast. We're going to continue on the growing theme that we've been on and talk a little bit about discipline versus motivation this week. If you ever feel fired up one day, ready to change everything you dislike about your life, and then a few days later, you're right back to where you started from, that's not a motivation problem. That's a discipline problem. And that's interesting when you take a step back and you really look at it. Motivation is always exciting right in the beginning, and it always gets you all worked up and want to be where your goals are. But it's just the first step. And you can't rely on those initial energized feelings to carry through the entire process. Motivation only gets you started, but discipline is what keeps you moving forward. It's the thing that will get you to your result. Now, let's get into it now. What if the reason that you're not where you want to be has nothing to do with your ability to do it, but has everything to do with your consistency to do it? Think about that for just 1 second, right? Because motivation is just the engine, right? It's just the thing that gets you excited enough to want to start taking those steps. What comes from that is now whether or not you're disciplined enough and consistent enough to continue down the path. So motivation gets you those first couple of steps, the first little bit to start pushing forward. And it's not the thing that is going to help you get to the end goal. Life is going to interrupt that plan. Without a doubt, we all have things that take our plan for the day and it throws it up in the air, and you end up in a position where you just feel like you were stagnant. That's where the motivation and the discipline collide, right? So the motivation was what you had when you got up in the morning. The discipline to work through those interruptions is what changes the outcome of that day. So don't feel like you can't achieve those goals. You just need to be more disciplined about it. You can't wait to feel 100% ready, right? So whenever you hit a spot and you're like, I'm going to get up and do this, and I'm going to change the way I eat. I'm going to exercise today. I'm going to focus more on work so I can get that promotion. And then something changes, right? And now you start second guessing whether or not you were actually ready to be able to do that. That's your mind telling you to back off. That's your mind fighting against your ultimate goal. And it does that because through a large portion of our lives, we always allow our mind to have the last say in what happens with our decisions. Think about that for a second. How many times have you woke up motivated to do something that day and then quit on yourself? I guarantee you can name at least 5 things off the top of your head. And that's just a normal human thing. Like, I'm not gonna say that, like, everybody is not going to fail at some point or that they're not gonna allow that laziness to kind of interrupt their day. What I'm saying is wake up with that motivation. It's discipline that pushes you through those hard times to make it happen. And there are plenty of things that are out there right now that can give you the motivation that you're looking for. We have social media, we have magazines, we have reality TV, we have all these things. Really depends on what your goal is. The real progress with it all, right, isn't just that motivation. It's whether or not you will be able to push through on those days that you weren't motivated. Motivation, again, is the spark. It's not the system that gets you to your goal. Think about that. Take a second and just wrap your head around what I just said. If you only showed up for yourself when you felt like it, you are never going to become who you want to be. Discipline is showing up when you're tired, stressed, sick, any of those things that can stop you from pushing forward. Discipline is the thing that says, I'm going to do this anyway. I have been on a 2-day, 3-day, 5-day, whatever it is, stretch of getting this stuff done regardless of what's going on. That's discipline. Discipline is doing the work when nobody is watching. Discipline is creating a repetitive schedule to achieve the goals you're looking for. All discipline. It's interesting because I think too many people think that the motivation to do the task is the same as discipline and the repetitive consistency to be able to do it. But it's not. Motivation is just the spark. It's up to you to be the fire. There is nothing exciting about the path after you get the motivation to do it. I don't want to lie and say that the path is thrilling and it's all of these things. It's not. It's tedious. It's hard some days. It's mundane and it can be super boring. But what it does is it helps you trust in yourself. It shows you that even when you don't think you can do something and you still do it, it shows you inner strength. It separates you from those people that are just willing to say, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. And it puts you in a place where you say, I said I was going to do it and I fucking did it. Discipline is doing it anyway. Regardless of what anybody else tells you, regardless of what your mind tells you in the morning when you wake up tired and you don't want to go to the gym. But when you do go to the gym, even though you're tired and mentally you don't want to be there and you get that workout done, the feeling after that is like nothing else you'll ever see in your life. It is the most rewarding feeling ever. With your mind telling you not to do it and you doing it anyway, and then being successful at it at the end. It's an absolute incredible feeling, part of the process. And when you can do that on a regular basis, that is where the motivation then switches to discipline. Like I said, discipline's not exciting. It's boring. And it will achieve your results. But it's up to you to be able to do it. So how do you do it? How do you learn how to build discipline? Motivation is the reason you're starting over. Discipline is the reason you haven't won yet. Let me say it again. Motivation is the reason you keep starting over, and discipline is the reason why you haven't achieved that goal yet. Again, I said it in the very beginning. Motivation is the reason you start. Discipline is the reason why you continue to do it. Now, it's not easy, as I said. You don't need to be hyped every single day to be able to achieve that goal. You just need a system in place. The system gets in place by building momentum, right? So you start small, you choose a small achievable goal, and you build momentum daily by creating something new that gets you one step closer to where you want to achieve. Those steps that you have to create are non-negotiable. They're not choices. Once you develop that structure and you decide what those steps are going to be, you can't remove those choices. You can't allow anybody else to remove that. It's up to you to still take that step forward, regardless of what happens. That's where discipline starts to come in. You stick to the routines and you eliminate the overthinking of each one of those steps. You eliminate the overthinking of what challenge gets put in front of you on that day that could throw you from your path. Start stringing together some of those days, some of those routines, and it starts to build a habit. Habits build awareness, and awareness puts you in the growth zone. It pushes you through the discomfort of those challenges that can and will get thrown at you daily. And it puts you in the area where now you are not just working the problem, but you are taking steps forward to achieve the goal. Make it a standard, not a choice. Small wins will create huge confidence, and it puts you further down the path. Consistency will beat intensity every single time. Consistency. The intensity being the initial motivation and the spark that wants to get you moving forward. The consistency will keep you moving forward. Discipline is the muscle that you need to train daily. Discipline is the thing that will push you forward every single day. Do you have it? Are you willing to do it? Take those little steps every single day. Can you do it? And if you can, imagine what your life would look like if you actually did the things you said you were going to do. Take a second and wrap your head around all the things in your lifetime, the important things you said you were going to do for yourself, the things that were motivating in that moment that you did not do. I want to say about 2 or 3 things that hit my head on any given moment. And I have always talked myself out of it for being too scared, than not knowing any of those things. But where would my life have been if I decided to be disciplined in wanting to achieve that goal and stayed the course? I think I probably would have found that I may have actually been good at it, and I may have been proud of myself for doing that. So being proud then creates self-respect, which then breeds in the self-confidence. Progress then, as you go down that, will no longer be what if, it'll be very predictable. Because as you take those steps and you see that you can achieve those things, now it's no longer I don't know if I can do this, to your mindset changes to I can do this. And you start believing in yourself. You stop relying on hearing it from somebody else to say, hey, you can do that, or you did do a good job. Because you became so consistent and so disciplined in your path that you don't need anybody else outside to validate it for you. You don't need somebody to tell you you did a good job because you did it without them. You're the one who got up and pushed yourself to that next step. And with that process, like I said, you will begin to develop a stronger base of self-confidence, a better understanding of who you are and what you can achieve. And you will find that you can start to be more successful in those avenues that you want to be successful in. That discipline will create freedom, and it'll create you have the ability to start trusting in yourself, either again because you failed multiple times or you had at one point, or for those of you that haven't felt that, you will start to feel that trust in yourself, knowing that I can do this. Imagine that feeling. Imagine being able to look at yourself, regardless of what challenge gets put in front of you, and you know, looking in the mirror, that I can do this because I have trusted in myself every step of the way, and I deserve to have the result that I want. You deserve to have the result that you want. When you put up and you do the work and you stay the course and you stay disciplined to achieve that goal, you deserve the rewards of that. It's not I hope I get the rewards. You deserve them. You put in the work and you deserve to have the goals of that work, from that consistency. I hope that makes sense. Stop quitting on yourself. Start taking that motivation and use it as fuel to fire your engine to get yourself moving forward. Don't wait to feel ready. Be ready to show up for yourself. Be ready to become the person you deserve to be. So here's how you're going to start it. Pick one habit every single week. One step forward every single week to get you closer to what your goal is. Whatever your goal is. And stay the course. Attack it every single day. Lock on to it and don't give yourself any mental excuses of why you're going to quit, as to why you're not going to do it that day. Show up for yourself regardless of how you feel. Tired, mentally drained, stressed out, exhausted because you didn't sleep good. Don't allow those things to be the excuses for why you don't achieve your goal. We can all find reasons to blame somebody or something else for why we didn't achieve our goal. There's only one person that drives our car, our system, our body, our well-being. There's only one person that actually does the driving, and that's us. So nobody failed you. If you didn't take the steps forward to address those things, that's a you thing. That's why motivation has always been the successor and why you didn't succeed, because you didn't take the discipline you needed and you didn't push through it. So now's your chance to do it. Be the person who does what they say they're going to do. Because at the end of the day, motivation only gets you started. Discipline is what's going to change your life. How bad do you want to change your life? How bad do you want to get that promotion? How bad do you want to change your health? How bad do you want to have a better relationship with your kid, your spouse, your family, any of those things? How bad do you want it? If you want it bad enough, look at your path, look at your motivation, and then look at your discipline. More times than not, you will find it was your discipline, your inconsistency that failed you. It was you that failed you. It wasn't somebody else or some other thing. That's the excuse we use to tell ourselves it was okay to fail. It's time to step up for ourselves. It's time to be what we want to be. It's time to achieve the goal that we haven't succeeded at yet. Be strong for yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoy where this podcast is going. I can't be thankful enough for all the support and all the listeners. I hope you guys have a great week. Please check out all the social media pages, Brewed for Life Podcast, Baines Brewing, Dad Son Community. Check out the TikTok page, Brewed for Life. Again, I hope you guys have a great week. And let's get better together.